Hey guys, welcome back. So another little thread here by Crouchy that piqued my interest, made me think about what I was doing, what you guys might be doing. I'd love to hear it down in the comments section. If you'd like to give your piece, I'd be happy to read it. But I think this is a fun thread. It's an interesting thread to see what everyone's up to. The thread is titled, "What is your next collecting goal? Any specific cards, a set of cards?" So with mine, they haven't really changed any. And typically my, I guess, micro goals towards my larger goal of getting one of each English card, the overall goal hasn't changed. The micro goal, at the time being, or at least recently, has been that I've avoided the vintage stuff when it did spike, as I was under the impression that it would come back down. And a lot of that has, and so I might get back into that. Typically, my strategy is not to pick up anything in particular. So I have a lot of sets that are mostly complete, but not entirely complete. So every now and then, and I think more often now, I'll start to dive into those mostly complete sets and maybe finish them off. Make a video when I do, so that you guys can keep track, can stay in the loop on what's going on with my stuff. But yeah, I think there are people that are changing their goals a lot more than what I am. If you're collecting specific sets or specific cards, your goals are probably going to change more drastically than mine. And let's take a look through here. We'll take a look at what everyone's doing. Crouchy says, personally, I'm buying XY promos such as Festa cards and other prize/participation cards. Very cool. Gotta like that. We got the X and Y Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo's, the Hoopa, the Zoroark break in the background, which is pretty interesting. I kind of like that touch, as it really defines the era. That's for sure. Livin Davido says, haven't finished my current goal yet, but the list for what's up next is very long, probably something small, so perhaps sealed W stamps, as there are only a handful of cards. Yeah, sealed stuff doesn't really do it for me. I'd rather have it in the binder, but that's cool. Even like the I know Rusty has a bunch, or I think there's a few collectors that have like bricks of the like promos and stuff like that are pretty cool. Again, it's kind of a niche item. You could always break it open, I guess, if you wanted to, but nonetheless. Jabby says, I have quite a few on the go over the next couple years, but I think are doable. Short-term goal is to finish off my Shadowless binder. Only got 3 hollows left and a few trainer cards to go. Next in line is the first edition Jungle and Fossil binders, which I have half the hollows of each set, but thankfully I have all big hits from each one already. That definitely helps, and makes it a little bit easier. I haven't taken a look too much at the first edition Jungle and Fossil stuff recently, but I assume that it's come down quite a bit, so should be a little bit more obtainable and realistic than it was previously. I also want to eventually finish my Neo Genesis first edition binder. I got Lugia out of the way, and most of those hollows are still pretty cheap in my view. I have the entire set, but still need most of the hollows, so that's a good start. A lot of these sets I was originally collecting. I was picking up the first editions, and now I need the unlimited versions, which is going to be it's going to be pretty funny when I'm paying more for the unlimited hollows than I did for the first edition hollows. But that's just kind of that's how it works sometimes. Aside from all this, I have a few more graded cards I'm after. I still would like to get a PSA 10 first edition base set Bulbasaur to finish off the Kanto starters. I have all the others. I definitely want a PSA 10 first edition Jungle Pidgeot and possibly Flareon, as they are 2 of my favorite hollows from the WotC era. After all this, I might look into other Neo era sets or e-reader stuff if I find the money. I also collect Magic cards, so I'm probably going to have to pick and choose some realistic goals for each. I'm definitely not all in on Pokemon as much as I enjoy the old cards and new cards I've been seeing. I would love to learn more about the promos and other unique cards at some point as well. So, well, there you go. As long as that doesn't entice you to purchase them, then that's free of charge and something that you can enjoy regardless. Magic the Gathering, also a very expensive hobby depending on what your collecting goals are. So yeah, you're definitely going to have to find some kind of balance there regardless of your budget. Caught at Point says, I just ordered a 12 pocket binder for after watching Gem Mint Pokemon's The Ultimate Binder video, which I plan to be similar in spirit, not the cards themselves. It will take a while to fill up, but it's going to be so good. One of the pages I'm thinking of will have the 8 Kanto gym badges with the 16 base hollows, hopefully shadowless, underneath. I'll also put some promo mini sets in, and I don't know if we're missing something there. Link to the video, The Ultimate Binder by Gem Mint. If you guys haven't checked out Gem Mint Pokemon, you should probably do so. Stagecoach says, I am very nearly finished with my first edition Neo binders, something I began several years ago when it was comparatively far more affordable. Naturally, I did not buy the most expensive cards first like I should have. I need to pick up Shining Tyranitar and Shining Charizard, and then those binders are complete. When I'm finished with them, I don't know what I'll do next. I'll have completed base through a Neo Destiny in first edition, which feels like the end of my lifelong collection. I have some niche goals like manifesting a Meowth number 10 promo and a BGS Black Label. But that's kind of a for fun white whale. So I don't know if you're just like buying those in mass, submitting the best copies to BGS, and hoping for the best. But certainly a hunt for sure. I don't know if I'm assuming that none exist and you're trying to do this on your own. I think next I will probably collect the Versus series, which I like a lot. I have a very modest partial binder begun for that, and after a lifetime of costly pickups, that will be much less demanding acquisition. But I also feel like I am on the precipice of downsizing. I love my first editions, and I'm very proud of them, but they have become something of a weight. I would love to downgrade to something a little more eclectic, but selling this collection would be a difficult undertaking, and I wouldn't even know where to begin. So I'm assuming if they're graded cards, yeah, I guess they would be a little bit space consuming. You could always downgrade them to a binder. Sell them off, downgrade to a binder. Take up a little bit less space. 4-star says, I have about 50 collection goals that I'm working on right now, but here are some of the highlights. PSA 9/10 base set English EX set, 49.64% complete. That's very specific. PSA 10 Japanese set, base level X set, 23.91% complete, but most level X I am grading myself and already have in mint condition. PSA 10 Japanese base set based Delta Species Hollow set, 35.29% complete. PSA 10 Japanese set based BWEX full art and ultra rare shiny set. Hopeful that completing the black and white and level X sets won't be too challenging, especially now that grading has opened up, but English EX is going to take a long time. Yeah, definitely, but that's one thing. If you have the cards already, and if you're grading them yourself, and if you have enough and you have the quality that's going to hit those 10s, then you should be just fine. Vat says, I am currently looking to complete a Top Sun Prism set. I have 11 out of 16 cards. Well, I think you're making some pretty good progress there. I'm not totally familiar with the cost of those or which ones you're missing, but it seems like you're doing good. Collector says, Green Wing, one code, low logo, clear wrap, long crimp, base box. That's a mouthful. It is a really long-term goal, one I can't possibly achieve unless I both sell some of my most treasured cards and spend those funds on Pokemon, which won't be happening. It is my next big goal, though, perhaps in a few years. All right. Lemon shows us the Giovanni Scheme Full Art Team Rocket Special Case promo. This is my next goal. I picked up the Team Rocket Full Art in a 10 earlier this year. I will get to Giovanni eventually. It's just a matter of when. I love all things Team Rocket, and these will be 2 of the crown jewels in my Rocket collection. Yeah, those are pretty cool. The case itself was kind of a cool product. Internet Davis says, recently picked up an Uyama Pikachu PSA 9 and want to get the rest of the vending series next, likely starting with Series 3, but eventually completing that set in grades 8 through 10 if possible. I think that's doable. I think you got that. Striker 2407 says, currently I'm working on completing my Diamond, Pearl, Platinum binder sets. I'm not too picky with the condition on those, so that should be doable in the next few months. As long-term goals, I want to grade all EX cards as a PSA 9 myself and open a box of every DP set. That will take quite a while, though. Yeah, opening the boxes is definitely going to be on the expensive end to grade all the EX cards as a PSA 9. The binders, the DP binders, the freaking reverses, and anything that's vintage just are such a pain to find in good shape. Not that they're very expensive, it's just time consuming in order to find them without even to begin with, a lot of them had print lines and stuff going on. You got curly boys, you got scratched boys, all kinds of that stuff. So doable. This is going to be expensive, but it seems like if that's something that you really love, then opening that stuff up yourself will be a blast. Enigma says, I'm working on my binder sets. My long-term goal is to complete all main English sets 1999 through 2022. I made the decision to draw the line at the end of Sword and Shield, for now at least. So this is very similar to what I got going on, but I'm going to keep going after Sword and Shield. But I mean, right now you're drawing the line at the end of everything, so I was planning on completing Celestial Storm and Darkness Ablaze this summer and Cosmic Eclipse in the fall for their anniversaries. Only need 49, 3, and 35 cards respectively, but plans change when you find listings you didn't expect to see. So right now I'm working on my BW binder sets and my BW Hollow / Ultra Rare binder, which I'm filling with one of each BW Hollow, Ultra, Full Art, and Secret. Raw in at least PSA 8, but on average PSA 9 condition or above. We'll make an exception for the condition if I find a card at a cheap price. So far for that binder, I've made a bit of progress this year, and I'm now at 68.73% complete. Pretty cool. So you're making progress. Very awesome. I would recommend, if you're doing like all the English sets, especially if you're doing reverses and stuff as well, that you find some other master set collectors. Wink. To trade with, that can access your list and be able to send you cards that you're missing. Especially with the new stuff, if you're opening it, it's good to trade and get that stuff out of the way, because once these age, the reverses are a pain in the butt again to find in good condition. Lyle Burr. I am almost done collecting all game legal English decks based on box styles. Interesting. I just tallied, and a current count is I have 346 out of 359 deck boxes. Holy moly. About 305 are sealed decks, and that count doesn't include the collection boxes that include decks, about 35 of those, of which I have 26. I likely will push for sealed decks once I have completed getting all variant boxes. After that, we'll push for World Championship decks, so I can stop saying game legal on my collection description. It's really annoying to not just say all English decks. Was really trying to complete the variants this year, but likely won't be able to find them for a while since I've exhausted most marketplace sources. Yeah, that's certainly interesting. And you just have to kind of keep an eye out for the ones that you're missing, which would be kind of a task in itself, I would imagine. When you're dealing with items that are pretty niche, that you might not necessarily see all the time, you gotta always have your eyes open. Iovier says, I'm like 4 years into my Gold Star binder goal, and only the most expensive cards are left to get, so it should be at least 4 years more to finish. Cool. I don't know in terms of like the prices on the Gold Stars, if they've retraced. I haven't really been tracking that, but I definitely have some gold stars left as well to acquire for my binder sets. Will says, I have some very long-term goals mixed with easier to accomplish short-term goals. Long-term gold stars in PSA 910, crystals in PSA 910, English EXs including Promos Pop Series in PSA 910, English EX Full Arts in PSA 10, Fan Club Promos in PSA 9/10, First Edition Base Hollows in PSA question mark. Yeah, those are some expensive goals, but yeah. Depending on your budget, depending on how much time you have to get those. Short term, Sword and Shield Gold Secret Rare Pokemon in PSA 10. Grading myself. Ooh, okay. That's rough. I mean, they're probably inexpensive enough that you can buy a lot of them and kind of like cherry pick ones that will get a 10. So, Sword and Shield Alt Arts, grading myself. So, yeah, that's the alt arts. I would imagine there's some of them that have dropped in price, but there's some of them that are also because they're the new cool thing, especially from the most recent sets. You're going to be paying a little bit of a premium for even in raw form on a lot of those, I would imagine. Very long term, any snap card in any condition. That is very cool. It's a cool goal, cool aspiration. Nowhere even close to my search at the moment. I have way too much to accomplish to dream that big. But that's a good one. Snap cards are cool. Torterra Simp says, my goal right now is to fill out my level X binder as well as picking up alt arts here and there. Long term, I'm looking to pick up the elusive NY08 Turtwig distributor promo to complete my Turtwig line collection. That's pretty cool. Very specific, very cool. Yeah, level X's, for anyone that doesn't know, love me a good level X. One of my favorite, it would kind of like a hyper rare, not a hyper rare, an ultra rare pull, probably, I guess. That would be the classification. Smoke'em says, it's gotta catch 'em all, bro. Haha, on the real, my goals change, evolve, question mark, so much. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having a good time. I guess rare stuff is a category. Very broad. Citrina, my main goal for this year is to finish my Master English Piplup line collection, minus the 5 2007 Tropical Winds and the SDCC stamp. Those cards are simply too expensive and difficult to find for me to justify purchasing at the moment, if they even pop up for sale anywhere in the first place. Maybe someday, though. Well, yeah, you can always keep an eye. You can set some funds aside just in case a sweet deal comes up. For now, I have 7 cards left, excluding the above, and surprisingly, the most difficult to find have been the cheapest of the group. Once I pick up the 2 2008 Worlds backs that I still need, the other 5 cards should be fairly easy to pick up once I have the budget for them. Longer term goals include continuing branching out language-wise for the Piplups and my Trainer Gallery collection. Cool. Trainer Gallery is pretty sweet. It's going to be sad to see it go, but it'll be interesting to see a new era and what kind of Pokemon and excitement that provides. Shero TGC says, I'm not very far into completing my goals. My main goals are Salamence English and Japanese Master set PSA 10. I'm number 1 on the set registry for this, LOL, but still don't have many. Thankfully, I have 3 of my favorites in Japanese, which are actually some of the hardest to find. So hopefully you don't need a nutrition error in a 10. That could be extremely hard to find if it even exists. Neo Shinings JP PSA 9 have 4 incurring Charizard and will be focusing on these heavily for the next few months. Okay. My next goal are Crystals JP PSA 9 on Limb. I chose on Lemon for the added difficulty at 0%, but mainly because I haven't actually seen any come up for auction or sale for a reasonable price since I decided I wanted to collect them. In addition to the above, I'm collecting mint modern Japanese chase cards in a binder slowly. I want to fill the binder, and I suppose this will become my main goal when Shinings and Crystals are completed or close to completion, and I have made more significant progress on Salamences. There's also 5 Japanese Charizards I want in mint or better condition graded, namely the Gold Star, Crystal, Shining, WCP Unlimited and E1 Unlimited. Thankfully, I have the WCP and Shining already, as these are expensive. The main reason I want to focus on modern chase cards in a few years is because I can collect more slowly and not spend as much on cards. This is why I won't add any more graded goals beyond what I have listed above. Filthy says, I have one very simple, very basic goal right now. Fill out the Pokedex in a binder. I'm thinking I'm getting close to 800. So I haven't seen any of these recently, but it's definitely a thing. People that collect one of each Pokemon, which is really cool. And for that reason, we have like the Mantike that only had the one print. That's an uncommon, but it's still pretty expensive for that reason. Just because people that are collecting one of each Pokemon need that Mantike. So cool tip for you guys if you come across any Mantike cards in the wild. It'll be simple enough, I suppose, once I sit down and place the orders, but I like to see what I get out of new sets before ordering specific cards. True. Yeah, when new sets come out, or like now with the new era or new generation coming out, you'll be getting a lot of the new Pokemon for that collection. So that would be, I guess that would be extra exciting for anyone that's doing that. Deblasnoya, no idea how to pronounce that. I am working on a Dutch first edition PSA 10 base set. I'm at 75 out of 102 right now. Hopefully I will finish the commons and uncommons when my current PSA order returns. Next on my list will be trying to track down the Pop 1 Ninetales. Whew, yeah, good luck on that. And hopefully you find out who actually even owns it so that you have an answer. Otherwise, you're going to be, I don't know if you have to grade it yourself. Again, with the like really niche stuff, even if it's not necessarily the most expensive stuff, it can be quite the challenge to track it down. Livin DeVito says, wow, this sounds like an awesome but big challenge. Do you have a collection thread? Would be cool to see. All right. Clocks says, I'm personally looking to expand my EX era sealed collection. My goal is to buy a single pack blister from every EX era set. All right. Needs Zeebs, careful. As we've seen recently, there's some resealy dealies that have been going on. Needs Zeebs says, I have a few goals I've been working on. 1, PSA 10 Japanese vintage cards, only the ones I really like, not all. I've got all the big hitters except Light Dragonite from Neo 4 already. Number 2, I was picking up PSA 8 Shadowless Hollows. A full set of those would be cool. Well, if you have most of them, or if you have a good chunk of them, it might be very doable. Number 3, a big goal I'm really excited about is filling out a base set to Gym 2 Japanese Complete Binder 12 pocket. That'd be cool. Number 4, another big goal is just to try and focus more on what I like. I think that's very important. People lose track of that sometimes. Don't worry about what other people are collecting or doing. Focus on what you like. It is a hobby, and if you're not enjoying it, find a way to enjoy it. Right now, that's going to be binders. I spend most of my summer budget on PSA cards, which is cool, but now I don't have any money to buy many other cards I wanted. I also want to slow TF down a bit in general. Last night, I was looking around my room and through my cards, and I was like, wow, I actually have a shit ton of cards, so I'd like to spend more time appreciating the cards I already have instead of worrying so much about the ones I don't. True. All right. The Sigma says, number 1. I guess we're in a numbered form here, numbered format. Main goal would be to buy some packs from each new set for fun. This year has been very solid for cards. Lots of awesome alt arts and trainer galleries, plus the radiance and snippets of what's to come in Lost Origin, Lost Abyss. If I had to be more specific, I'd say trying to complete the alt art set for any Sword and Shield set. Evolving Skies is a bit rough, but I feel the other alt art sets aren't too bad to complete, minus Brilliant Stars with the Charizard. And even that, I don't think that's too bad at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if like the alt art and the Rainbow Zard are like $100 at some point. Usually where Chase Charizards in modern times have kind of settled down, and then they'll slowly creep up from there. I have a good 100 plus cards that I want to purchase. The issue is deciding on which ones. A bunch of alt arts, and I'd like to do some sort of binder page with amazing rares or radiance. Every now and then I see a card, usually Japanese, I hadn't seen before. I typically post a picture of it in a private Discord and eventually go through the list to buy something. A ton of Japanese exclusives for under 20 bucks. So I think this would be cool, like a binder with like all your amazing rares, your breaks and stuff like that. All the little like micro gimmicks, whatever you want to call them, that are within sets would be kind of cool to see. I don't really have any particular sets I want to complete, but I want to focus more on EX through DPP. For more modern stuff, there are a ton of full arts from XY era that I want to get. The latter half of XY doesn't seem too daunting, but earlier sets seem a bit rough as far as prices go. It's all relative though. Mr. Bubbles says, my collection goal is to collect every Japanese promo card. Holy moly. Currently, I'm focusing on cards from P promo to BWP promos. I also collect unnumbered promos very sparingly. My very short-term goal is to complete the ADVP set, which I feel is one of the most manageable sets to finish in terms of expense and rarity. I will also soon make a collection thread to share my progress. All right. Karis says, I think my collection goal is to make sure I actually pick up copies of all those cards I have had my eye on, but haven't yet purchased for whatever reason. Right now, it's just a random list of cards ranging from a reverse foil fire red leaf green haunter. Interesting, very specific, to the stand-up comedian Pikachu promo, to Trainers Magazine promos, and much more. I also want to finally send in my small stack of raw cards I've selected to grade through PSA, and send in my Gold Star Mew for cross grade as well. All right. I feel right now is a great time to maybe stop buying a copy of every modern ETB as it releases, and instead throw the $50 into filling out my backlog of wants, as some of those are much more likely to dry up sooner rather than later. Yeah, you gotta kind of like pick out what you want. If the ETBs are like something that's a collection that you plan on keeping, then probably better to make sure you keep up with that, because it's gonna suck when you have to buy one later at an increased price, especially if it's a weird instance like Celestial Storm or something where the packs aren't necessarily expensive, but the ETBs, just there were so few of them and so few of it printed that it ends up being sought after and more expensive. But if you're just buying them for fun, and you're gonna end up selling them later anyway, and you're just kind of like sitting on them as a fun little side investment, then maybe you can skip that and go into something that you enjoy more. DDK says, my current collection goal is to acquire every Skyridge Hollow in PSA 10. Holy crap. Currently have 18 out of 38 cards, but need many of the highest value ones like Crystal Charizard, Ho-Oh, and Umbreon. Yeah, that's a few bucks right there. Will probably take a few more years to complete, but I have some peace of mind knowing that this is one of the most reasonable PSA 10 WotC sets to complete due to many cards being easy to grade. Yeah. Also, like, very sought after, so I guess that kind of, like, counteracts that a little bit. Besides Skyridge, I try to grab any deals on PSA 9 to 10 hollows from WotC through EX. My lifetime goal is to have all the hollow sets from base first edition through Power Keepers and complete, and at least PSA 9. I can't ever see myself leaving the hobby, and I want something to keep the fire burning. Well, yeah, those are some lofty goals. Again, depending on like how much money you have, money and time. Very, very big goals there. Candle, I saw Quachansey post some Ultra Pro binders with a suede finish, and the binders look so good. I'm doing my first organized binder collections. Doing some basic 90s binders, vending sets, and Series 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing over $20 aside from some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Hollows. Might do Bandai Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. I have a handful of the cards already, so I'll just collect leisurely when I'm too tapped to buy the graded cards I'm after. As for those graded cards, there are only a handful of 10s I really want left. Gave up on doing sets and just focusing on singles I like. I have some complies coming back and a ton more going out, so if I'm lucky, those goals are already locked up. Lastly, a collection goal would be to get my core collection photographed / scanned and get a post up here on here. Yeah, there's a lot of binder stuff going on here, guys. Is there a trend? Enigma says, the binder gang welcomes you. M. Corey777. Whatever you do, don't skip E-Series. It's the most limited selection of Wasi and most beautiful. All right, so collection goal here. I forgot to mention I'm also down to the last 7 E-Series PSA 8-9 hollows. I need to complete all 96 hollows from the 3 sets. Then I'm also at 6 out of 9 crystal PSA 9s. That Zard is going to be difficult, and I haven't prioritized Golem or Crobat yet. I have Celebi, Ho-Oh, Kabutops, Kingdra, Nidoking, and Lugia. Yeah, I still need those Charizards, and not looking forward to those either. And I don't have to worry about them being a 9. Arita fan says, honestly, I'm pretty much done collecting cards. The chase is endless, and I have basically all the cards I truly want. Now I'm just waiting for those 2 binders to pop up on the market. Super rare, released by Pokemon Center in the 2000s. Been waiting almost a year for them. All right. Xyleets feel similarly. Arita collection is always a work in progress. Speaking of, I'm still updating the master list a bit at a time, but mainly it's just Arita and my MTG lands. I do want to add the CD promos to my collection, but I don't know that those count as chase cards. Fairly affordable in my opinion. I'd rather spend the money on my more active hobbies for now. Cove and grad school beat sedentary stuff out of me, but I'll be back. Poke everything. Box toppers specifically. Just got the Charizard and Mewtwo from Legendary Collection. I want to finish that out. From there, probably going for EX Hollows. I think they are some of the best looking in all of the TCG. Alright. Do you have pictures of the binders? And then we have Xyleets who posts. It's like the Deoxys who's like grabbing his buns. It's pretty cool. Gengar Animal. I know what cards I want to go after, but apparently even in a down market, many of you folks probably are going after many of the same cards I am. So I'm trying to be patient and trust that if the economy continues to struggle for a while, as I expect it will, some of the prices for ads I want will hopefully come down to maybe December 2021 prices or lower. Remember that nice little 1 or 2 month window of time we had of extremely negative market sentiment and holiday spending competition. In the meantime, there are still some value purchases of cards I want that remain trapped in CGC 8 through 9.5 cases that many of you folks probably just had to grade before releasing them back into the market. So I'll likely direct funds towards acquiring those that are deals and submitting them to PSA while PSA seems to be being reasonable. So I don't know. I think PSA is going to come down even further than what they have now. If the trend continues where they're adding more staff, an extra facility, opening up the grade gates, I think we're in store for another decrease. Oh, that binder, gorgeous, beautiful binder. Holy mother of Deoxys. What the hell is that binder? All right. Shinru says, I love Espeon and Umbreon, so I was thinking of going after a nice sealed copy of Pokemon Coliseum. That'd be cool. SM Pratt says, I really want to do a binder of every alt art, but there are so many already, it feels a bit overwhelming. Maybe when the Eevee Heroes reprint hits, that will be a good starting point. Yeah, and I can't imagine they're not going to continue alt arts into the next era, but maybe once they're worn out. Right now, alt arts are at their maximum hype dog 69 because they're the new cool thing that everyone's after. So keep that in mind. The prices might come down. They are very hard to pull. You do have to open a lot of product, so there is rarity there, but Yeah. Remember. I mean, you can just look at the like secret rares and hyper rares and stuff like that from previous gens. At one point in time, they were the cool thing. Now they're kind of played out, and then as they get older, people will kind of want to go back to them. So I can imagine there'd be some sort of trend that follows that. Dirge says, Umbreon play promo. Illusions Zoroark 4th grade winner. No idea how I'm going to accomplish it, though. They're tough to find and really expensive. Oh, you just got to keep looking, and you got to make sure that you have the funds set aside if you're going after anything that is that difficult and expensive. Dragonite. After I finish first edition Neo Destiny, I'm going right into a complete VS series set. Okay, cool. Yeah, it look awesome in a binder. Wise Whalmer says, still working on all the E-Series Hollows BGS 9 no subs. Made very good progress recently, but there's a lot of cards. Also added first edition base BGS 8.5 Hollows, but that went really fast, honestly, and I'm almost done. I guess 8.5s are common enough that you would. It's really odd to have 8.5s. I guess 8.5 onlys, but you probably get some pretty good deals on those, just because people typically don't want the half grades. Next will likely be E-Series versus Japan Hollows and BGS 9 and some of the English E-Series promos. Been tossing around the ideas of HDSS era collections and Neo Destiny First Edition 2, but I don't know how serious I am about those. I'd also like to nab a box of some mid-tier rarity EX set / WotC set before the next boom. There's probably a while before the next boom, I would imagine. But you never know. No one could predict what we're riding out here, so never know when the next Pokemon Go and or shut down or whatever is going to happen, and it might be a while, but you never know. Trainer Jack says, I have so many goals, but the biggest goal I'm trying to save for now is getting a Master Scroll. In terms of binders, I'm working away at a next binder slowly but surely. Cool. Seaside Pokemon. So there. I haven't seen it in a while, but we got Pokedex binders. One of every Pokemon collectors. Or I guess set of one of every Pokemon. Seaside Pokemon. I'm 5 cards away from completing first edition base set in PSA 8+. Getting close. I almost don't want to be finished with it. It's been such a fun journey. Yeah, but there's always something else that you can get into. Hopefully those 5 cards aren't the 5 most expensive, for your sake. Southern Islands English ungraded for my binder collection. Okay, nice. It's always like a weird spot because you have like Southern Islands like comes with a binder, but do you really want to use the Southern Islands binder? It's like the ring binder. Still working on my Kamiya binder. I hope to complete the full Japanese set of his art by 2023. I'm about 70% complete. Dang. I don't know how many are in that. Probably quite a few. The Japanese cards, I guess, if you're in North America or something, then it's going to be significantly harder to obtain all of those. They're very doable with the internet, but... All right, Dragonite. This is the pinnacle binder set, in my opinion, and definitely requires a 9 pocket to fully appreciate. The artwork by itself is incredible, but having the connectedness aspect as well, I don't think I look at any set more than this one. Nice. So I'm assuming that was a reply to the Southern Islands. All right, do we have any more here? Guys, make sure you leave yours in the description if you're even watching this long into the video. But yeah, I want to hear what you're going after, what you're looking for. You don't have to say if it's anything super specific that you don't want anyone else to look at more than they need to. If you're trying to keep it secret, if you're trying to nab some deals and steals, just some kind of idea. All right, we got replies. All right, M Thirsty. I finished a really big collection goal recently, and I'm very proud of it. I still have some ongoing goals, such as my Expedition Master set. I've been putting this off for a while. But the thing I have enjoyed the most in this hobby has been purchasing small collections and just sorting through them. I haven't bought one since 2020, and so I'm excited to start buying them again. Yeah, I haven't. When I first started, I was buying a lot more binder sets. They are very time consuming, but in terms of value, if you know what you're looking at, you have a general idea, if you get a deal on all of it, because the person doesn't want to sell the cards individually, you can get a good deal. You can take the cards that you need for your collection, and you can sell or trade off the extra, which makes the hobby time consuming but very affordable. So just gotta have the money up front for the collection purchase, and kind of flush that back in. You can even use it to fund the next collection purchase. Just rinse and repeat. Very good way to build up a collection. Trainer Jack, what did you complete? All right. Poke Collector Army says PSA 10 Masago set. I don't think I'll ever get through it, sadly, because I had a few, sold them in the 2020. I'm going to assume this is a typo. Masago? Run up and don't want to pay higher prices now to buy them back. Pains me. Maybe I'll adjust to a PSA 9 CGC 9.5. Stagecoach. Absolutely. It's an all-timer set. Can't believe they haven't done sets. All right. Punjabi says, tough, especially dependent on prices. Working on a PSA 10 Holo Japanese Unlimited set for E2 through E5. Near mint binder for Japanese Unlimited E-Series. Holos, not holo. Common, uncommon. No rarity minimum. PSA 9 all slabs. No rarity NM binder. Almost finished with my Japanese base set. Base binder doing doubles of each holo only. Finished Japanese Jungle / Fossil 2X holo. And partially complete Gym 1 and 2. Neo 1 through 4. But the Shining Near Mint for binder is going to be a pain. Oh my god. And I guess once I have all E2 through E5 unlimited, I'll probably go for E1 Japanese Holo first edition PSA 10, since unlimited E1 is like 4 to 5 cards, LOL. Who wants to help me rob a bank so I can finish these goals? Yeah, these are you got a lot going on here. It's a mouthful for sure. All right, we got replies. McMimi says, I always wanted to do PSA graded fossil Pokemon and own their IRL counterparts so I can display both as a little museum. Since no current set is small enough to entice me to try and do a binder collection, I might try it. Or do EX Ruby / Sapphire plus Sandstorm. Already completed EX Dragon a while ago. So I like that. The old EX eras, the underappreciated EX sets in the early days. Early Nintendo, but yeah, this is definitely different, definitely neat. Shinru lining up fossil Pokemon with real life fossils sounds amazing. Pokefan Tyler says, I'd love to snag a complete set of the Japanese web and VS. The art is amazing. I agree, and I think the fact that it's Japanese only, or at least a lot of it is Japanese only, that kind of makes it special in a way. Falling Bread, currently working on 4 binders. Dark Gyarados binder, any and all Dark Gyarados I can find. Holo First Ed Celebrations. Is it just like filling it out? Okay. Gold Star Greninja binder with pages specifically for ones I find with a swirl. Okay. Altar binder, which to me includes trainer gallery and promos such as the one with Pikachu and Galar starters. All right. 4, my favorite one by far, which is what I call my stamped binder. Not sure exactly what the correct word for the cards is, but it has the McDonald's promo, WB movie cards, Toys R Us, GameStop promos and such. Currently looking for those KFC ones that came out in Indonesia. It'd be interesting. So like you'd have a like pre-release staff, stamp, all kinds of stuff. Side collecting a very small bunch of reverse legendary collection for my GF as well. Emphasis on small. All right. NP Pokemon says, with my core collection complete, I'm going back through all sets and saving my favorite cards. That can be significance or artwork, etc. I aim for PSA 9 10 for anything before 2020, and CGC with subgrades for anything past 2020. Some unique Japanese promos, I'll still go for the PSA version if it's good enough. Okay. TCC JM2. Honestly, since I now own every English Mewtwo card, I don't know what to do anymore. I guess you could collect the Japanese ones, right? Or Mew, as Got006 suggests. All right, Sparky 55603, finishing my 1997 card ass binder if my cards ever come from Japan, and getting more along the way on my Articuno Master Set. I'm also picking up any just cool Japanese promos I discovered along the way and getting a few copies if possible. Also lv.x and mid 2000s era cards. I was born in 2000, so my earliest memories are looking and Pokemon cards and playing the games. It's a lot and will for sure change, but as of right now, just collecting what I love and makes me happy. So that's the most important part, right? All right. Franmo. Currently finishing the Japanese WotC era boosters. Missing Neo 4, Split Earth, Town on No Map, and Wind from the Sea. Cool. Thurko. I'm in the middle of 4 goals that will take me a while. PSA 9 First Aid WotC Hollow set. Yeah, that's an expensive one. PSA 10 Houndoom set. PSA 10 Growlithe set. PSA 10 Aerodactyl set. So it looks like you got a mix of expensive and maybe just like with the PSA 10 Growlithe set, probably just a little bit hard to find all of the Growlithe unless you're grading yourself, which is also a challenge within itself. PFM says, it's nice to see the 9s coming down so it's accessible to more people. Definitely a rewarding goal. All right. What else we got? We got replies. Cool Trainer Tony. I have many long-term goals, but these are the ones I am focused on for the near future. Obtain every EX PSA 9 from Unseen Forces. Missing 3. Okay, so you're getting close. Complete the Evolution Alt Art portion of my binder. Expensive modern goal in terms of modern. Long-term Championship Arena 2008 PSA 9. Rockets EX PSA 9. PSA 9 BW Full Arts Gen 1 through 4. E-Series Hollows PSA 9. Every old school EX PSA 9 or complete binder of them. Go to a collecting event. Yeah, we gotta get some events up and rolling. All right, Tap. We're getting close to the end here, guys. Thanks for hanging in if you're still around. Tap. I've found myself at a crossroads lately. My biggest collection goal since October 2019 was to complete my Torchic English and Japanese master set. And I have one last card to buy to finish the entire thing. I'm hesitant and honestly don't want the hunt to end. I know that once I wrap up the goal, the next thing is all languages, and that will be a potential decade-long process. I feel dumb for putting off buying the last piece of the EN/JP puzzle, but at the same time I want to cherish the drive it gives me. I've been waking up and checking my saved eBay searches, bookmark tabs, etc. first thing in the morning for over 2 years, and once they're all complete and in the binder, I fear I'll get burnt out thinking about the immense task of opening it up to all languages. First world problems. So, I mean, you could always just have a separate goal or a separate collection if you don't want to go all language Torchics, or just take your time with the all language stuff. So, it's the search is definitely not going to ever end. Well, I shouldn't say that. The search is only going to get exponentially harder with the other language stuff, I would imagine. EV Team. I am very close to finishing off my English/Japanese set as well. Cool. Lane Ward. After doing a stock take last night, my Dragonite collection is missing 11 cards, so that's my goal. Nice. Xyleets went through Mux Kusajima lists. Definitely going for the whole thing. Very nice. Multiple binders full of vending series. You really can't have enough. Yeah, if that's what tickles your fancy. Def 1992. While I am still collecting Evolving Skies, I really want them all still 80 to go, and I am still busy collecting all the Celebration cards. I only need 6 cards and then I'll have them all. Celebrations I think is pretty inexpensive at the moment from what I was seeing recently, and something that I should probably just like knock out, finish off at this point. I don't think I'm gonna open more Celebrations. So I love the Pokemon Go cards. I know that a lot of people doesn't like it, but I really love the cards, and especially the first 3. Yeah. The smaller sets I'm not really a fan of anyway. Celebrations, the reprints, I don't know. I think the Pokemon Go stuff is also a little bit lackluster, but you know, it's still Pokemon cards. There's still some highlights there. The Dragonites are pretty cool. The Mewtwo's are pretty cool. Okay, I'm trying to finish off additional sets of vending series and thought I'd ask if anyone else is doing the same. If so, is there a card in particular you're struggling to get a hold of? For me, Kingler seems harder to get for a decent price. So Scott points this one out here. This card was noticeably harder to find when I was completing my binder, maybe because those cards have long-winded names. Probably, yeah. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's the entirety of the thread here. Again, let me know down below what you're collecting, what you're going after. It doesn't have to be specific if you don't want to reveal. If it's got to be a secret because it's something that you're afraid of competition on it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.